When a lost hiker named Joe stumbles upon an erratic old man living in the woods, he could never have imagined the nightmare that awaits. First of all, this movie is really boring. It's 97 agonizingly slow minutes. When a movie like this boils its structure down to a single scenario and a handful of characters, it has to rely on the talent of its actors and the strength of its dialogue in order to keep viewers interested. Stephen Lang does a decent job. Unfortunately, everything else is simply mediocre. The movie is one long conversation where the old man tries to figure out what Joe's deal is, and Joe tries to figure out what old man's deal is. If you're going to have a movie with only two characters in one location, the dialogue had better be riveting. Unfortunately, this movie's dialogue is really bad, needlessly elongating simple ideas for the sole sake of creating a fake air of mystery. The script is really flat, containing no wit or suspense. The first 30 minutes is actually decent. The conversations are still interesting, touching on whether or not the old man intends to hurt Joe, and a vague summary of what brought Joe out here. After a small level of trust is established, Joe believes the old man that a nasty storm is coming and that there is no choice but to stay the night. You can get fully invested in discovering where the story is going to turn out, but then you get the sense that the movie isn't going anywhere, and the more time passes, the more you realize your suspicions are correct, especially after the thriller aspects start to die out. Once the initial thrill is gone, you can only hope for compelling dynamics between the two characters, or that you feel a connection to them. Unfortunately, that's not the case here. The main problem is that the movie never offers information that's interesting enough to keep viewers intrigued. This movie has a solid first act but stretched to fill an hour of runtime. Unfortunately, there's just not enough here to maintain tension, and the highly stylized dialogue constantly teeters on the edge of absurdity. During most of its runtime, the movie relies on lengthy and uninteresting monologues throughout, which the characters reveal information about their past. The script is so talky that once the two characters get into a deep discussion, it's laughably obvious what game the movie is playing here. Then it becomes really painful, considering there are no intentions to reveal those cards until the final 15 minutes. It gets really boring, and by the time something finally happens to goose the narrative, you have lost an interest left. Overall, this movie is a complete waste of time. We do not recommend this movie at all.